Oh hi, I didn't see you there. I'm Philbert D, and I'm running out of shirts. This one's from 2013. This is Phil on Films. This week, Hello Love Goodbye and Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Catherine Bernardo is Joy, a young woman working as a domestic helper in Hong Kong. She's got 4 months left on her contract, and she's just hoping to scrape together enough for a trip to Canada, where she'll be achieving her dream of becoming a nurse. To make some extra cash, she takes some other jobs on the side, which is illegal for domestic helpers in Hong Kong. On one of these jobs, she meets Ethan, played by Alden Richards, who pursues her relentlessly and gives her a reason to want to stay in Hong Kong.
The film gets off to a hot start, depicting the struggles of its main character. Joy is essentially trapped in her situation, having given up a lot of herself in pursuit of this abstract dream of one day having her family all in one place, stable and financially secure. The film spirals out from this, dissecting the economic inequities that have created an inherently unjust system that puts Filipino women in foreign lands, turning them into commodities under the pretense of making the necessary sacrifices for their families. This is a really smart examination of the OFW problem, especially in the context of Hong Kong. But that's kind of not what this movie is really about, because this is still all meant to be a romantic film. So she meets Ethan and things get a little less interesting. Ethan fills that tame playboy archetype, the Lothario who becomes genuinely enamored with a girl simply because she rejects him. Now, there are more interesting aspects to his story, but little of it has to do with how this central relationship plays out. But that doesn't erase the good that this film already does. The more we get into the complexities of their respective situations, the more compelling this whole thing becomes. And even when the romance takes the fore, the tragedy inherent to the story of a nation of people all dreaming of living somewhere else is still deeply felt. Full credit goes to Catherine Bernardo, who is as good as she's ever been, if not better. She's the core of this movie, and the bulk of the reason I'd recommend seeing it, actually. This is a remarkable performance that goes beyond the simple paradigms of young people being in love. Joy is a fully formed character who has deferred her dreams and has her world shattered in the middle of an already trying situation. I think it takes a great actress to pull that off, and she manages just fine. 4 stars.
Pick a door.
All right then.
No, that's my door. Pick another door.
What's wrong with you? You know what? You were right. This is your door.
What's the matter? You got a lot of bad guys behind that door?
Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham return in their Fast and Furious roles Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw. The two are forced to work together once again to keep a dangerous virus out of the hands of a powerful corporation with designs to cull the world population. The virus happens to be inside Hattie Shaw, sister to Deckard and played by Vanessa Kirby. All 3 are pursued by a technologically enhanced super soldier played by Idris Elba, who has a history with Shaw as well.
Let's just get this out of the way. Justice for Han. I still haven't forgotten Shaw, even if the other characters in these movies seem to have forgotten already. Family indeed. Putting that aside, this is just a ridiculous, bombastic action movie that works practically on a Looney Tunes level of logic and physics. The plot is pretty much nonsense, and the threat of the virus never materializes in a way that might make the audience feel any anxiety over things going really bad. That said, the movie knows that it's all nonsense and it just leans in. In fact, it's really as much a comedy as it is an action film. There are actually some drop-ins from established comedic stars who lend their signature wit to add to the silliness of everything that's already going on. I'm still not sold on despairing the end. The film seems to think that Johnson and Statham together is inherently, magically cinematic dynamite. The pairing was actually more interesting in the last film, which played up a little bit of homoerotic tension between them. In this film, they're just a pair of alpha males who can't stand having another alpha male around, and that's just boring macho nonsense. The action is just okay. Most of it is standard blockbuster stuff. Car crashes, explosions, and a lot of fast cuts make things disorienting at times. The film is really best when it's just a few people punching each other. The most memorable sequence in this film plays out in slow motion, and it really relies on its cast's ability to make these really amazing faces while getting punched in the face. It's hilarious. So the movie's not bad. kind of fun if you can get over all the testosterone-fueled posturing. 3.5 stars, maybe 4, but justice for Hobbs. You got questions, I got some things to say. G. Alonzo on YouTube asks, question, what genre of film would you like to see Filipino filmmakers do more of? All of them. Just whatever isn't romance and horror, because that's all we make nowadays. So, all of them. Next question. Director of Apocalypse Child, Mario Cornejo asks, any films you've changed your mind on recently? What makes you change your opinion of a film? I don't know. I don't know if I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I've changed my mind on recently, because I watch so many films that I tend to not have the time to rewatch anything. I do seek out discourse on films I don't like or the films I like. Like I genuinely look for people who don't like what I like and people who like what I don't like, just to understand it from a different perspective. I really love Hereditary, but I've really come to appreciate the people who hate it. Like, I'm really interested in the way that like people say it might actually makes trauma feel cheap, or it exploits trauma or whatever. Or I've been reading a lot of reviews of people who don't like Midsommar, and I've really dug into these kind of feminist readings of it that feel like the film doesn't have a really strong ideological base. And I really appreciate that. I can't say it's changed my mind, but like I like seeing different perspectives people have on these films. Guys, please stop asking me if a movie is getting shown in the Philippines. I generally don't know. You can look it up yourself. You go to SM Cinema's website and see if it's in the coming soon section. Sho Gutierrez asks, what recent Pinoy film is a guilty pleasure for you? I don't have guilty pleasures. If it's a pleasure, I'm not guilty about it. Kevin Almodovar asks, I want to know what made you start making vlogs about your movie reviews. Thanks. I don't know. Maybe witnessing the death of publishing in the Philippines. That's pretty much it. I spent the last couple of years as an editor of a magazine, and oh boy, publishing is died. And I don't know, just wanted to try something new. Here's something new. I'm still generally more comfortable writing than being in front of a camera, but you know, gotta challenge yourself, gotta keep growing. If we've learned anything from Star Cinema movies, it's that we have to keep growing. Alex B on Twitter asks, any opinions on the trend of love teams making solo projects and the impact this could have on the Filipino film industry? It's great. The more variety of projects we have, the better. It's good for them because they get to, you know, play outside the realm of whatever they've been raised in. If you've been working with somebody for 6 years, maybe try working with somebody else, and it's good. I don't know what impact it could have on the Filipino film industry. What's weird about the Filipino film industry, to be honest, is that we're still doing a studio system where it's like the golden age of Hollywood, where it's like stars are contracted under studios and their careers are, their management are also the studios, and they basically still work, their careers are dictated by the film structures that they work under. And I don't know, maybe there's a reason the studio system died in the States, and I don't know why it hasn't died here. You know, maybe it would be good for everybody if stars were independent and were free to pursue projects that they wanted to do. Maybe, I don't know, I'm a crazy leftist. Oh, that's interesting. JG on Twitter asks, hi Phil, I'm looking for a Filipino film equivalent to the feel of Lee Chang-dong's Burning. Are there any? Where can I watch/stream it? This is a really tough question because like Burning is very specific. It's a Japanese story. You've taken a Korean twist, but like here, I actually have one weird idea for you. It's also a kind of this existential detective story that kind of really goes nowhere, where the finding the killer is secondary to this general idea of a national identity. And that is Love DS's Batang West Side, that 5.5-hour film that turned him into the artist that he is. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you to watch or stream it. Maybe it's on iFlix? I don't know. I don't know where you can stream Love DS film. But you know, bug your local microcinema to show it, because it is actually a remarkable film. And yeah, if you can find it, go see it. Kuya Clark on Twitter asks, what pista ng pelikulang Filipino film are you excited for the most? I'm generally not excited for the PPP. I will say that this year, Jade Castro is making a film, and I love Jade Castro. I'm excited to see LSS, and I will be seeing LSS. Thanks for joining us. I'd like to remind everybody that Cinemalaya starts this weekend. Go see Cinemalaya. I'm actually planning to see everything, even. I'm so tired. Anyway, like and subscribe, leave a comment, do all the internet things. And until next time, goodbye, internet. Lotto, what the fuck? Really, this is like the Catherine Bernardo show. It's like, oh yeah, shit, she's being good again. Of course it was. That's how he rolls. That's how Lav Diaz rolls. Go to MoMA, see his films.